is 3 years old and she's exhibiting a couple of abnormal behaviors, so I just wanted to see what that's about. So sometimes she'll just be sitting there and she'll zone out and her face will go blank. Other times she'll be standing 1 second and the next thing she's dropped to the floor and is completely tensed up. Then other times she's completely like folded inward on herself, and it is quite alarming.
Sure, I can understand that. So it sounds like you're describing a few different types of seizures. So I'm wondering if anything else is going on, how she's doing developmentally. So you said she's 3 years old, so she should be able to kick and catch a ball, walk forwards and backwards with no problem. So how's she doing with that?
I don't think she's quite there. There's definitely a couple issues.
Okay, so I'm starting to get an idea of what's going on here. I'd like to do a couple more tests to get a better picture. And to be able to make a good diagnosis. So one of the things we're going to do is an EEG, which is a non-invasive way to just get an idea of the brain activity and what's exactly happening.
Okay.
So come over here and we can look at the results. So this is a normal EEG, and then this is your child. So you can see that the spikes are farther apart, and then they're also higher spikes. So all of this is leading me to believe that she has Lennox Gastaut syndrome, which is just a seizure disorder. And so if you want to step over here, then I can show you exactly what's happening in her brain. Okay, so this is a neuron. So basically those are just the cells in your brain that communicate with each other. And so here you have glutamate, which is an excitatory neurotransmitter, and here you have GABA, which is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. And so normally they'll go down the synapse and then, or the axon, and then they'll just fire to let the rest of the brain know what's happening. And so in your daughter's case, there's either too much glutamate or not enough GABA. It's hard to tell which one really. And so there's too much excitatory information being passed along, and so that's creating the electrical impulses that we saw in the EEG, and then it's spreading across the brain. And so normally there are the sodium voltage gated ion channels keeping the sodium outside the cell, so they're normally closed. And then in your daughter's case, the gate is open, so there's a lot of sodium coming in already, which is making it easier to be excitable, which is also adding to the problem. Alright, so I'd like to prescribe your daughter some anti-epileptic drugs, and so basically all that's going to do is to help regulate glutamate and GABA to try and restore normal function. Hi, come on in. Okay, so we've been at this for almost 12 years now. She's 15. Obviously, what we're doing isn't working. We've played with the dosages, tried confounding medication, and it's not proving very effective. So another thing that we can try is the ketogenic diet, which is a very strict diet. You can't take any supplements or vitamins with it. And essentially, it's just high fat, low carb, and low protein. And nobody's really sure why it works. It's just sometimes proven to work. And I mean, we've got nothing to lose, so.
Does that sound like something we could do, sweetie?
I think so.
All right, let's give it a try and see where that takes us.
Okay.
Hi, come on in.
Thank you.
So how do you think the ketogenic diet has been working for you?
Well, I've still been having a few seizures. They're not as frequent, but they still happen, and it's so aggravating because I get made fun of for it. And I just feel like if there's other options out there, I'm willing to try them.
Okay, so there's something else that we can try. It's called vagus nerve stimulation therapy.
What exactly is that?
So basically, it's like a pacemaker but for the brain. So we'll insert it somewhere either in your arm or near the chest, and it'll send electrical impulses through the vagus nerve up to your brain, and then the idea is that it will help to regulate the excessive electrical activity that's going on in your brain. So does that sound like something you'd be willing to give a go?
I would be willing. What about you, Mom?
I think it's a good option.
All right, so let's schedule the surgery and we'll see what happens. Hello.
Hello.
Have a seat. All right, so we tried the vagus nerve stimulation therapy. That doesn't seem to be getting you what you want either. it's been a long 17 years at this point. We've tried a lot of options. There is another thing that we could try. It's kind of extreme, so I want you to take some time to think about it, but it's called the corpus callosotomy. And so basically, your brain has two halves. They're called the hemispheres, the right and the left. And so the corpus callosum is a membrane between them that connects them and allows them to communicate with each other. And so in your case, that's what is facilitating the spread of the electrical activity, which is causing the seizures to spread across your brain. And so the hope with that is that it will stop the spread, and in stopping the spread of the seizures, hopefully it will stop them altogether or at least significantly decrease them.
Okay. If it will stop my seizures, I really would like to give it a try. How soon do you think we can do it?
So first we're going to need to do a consultation period to map out your brain and see exactly the positioning of it, and I'd like to get another look with an EEG just to make sure and double check all of the electrical activity and everything that's going on, see what's changed, because I mean, it's been a while. And so then after the consultation, it's done, so the surgery is done in two parts. And so the first part of the surgery, what we'll do is you'll go under general anesthesia, so you won't be awake for this. And what we'll do is we'll cut the front 2/3 of the corpus callosum, and then we will allow you to recover from that, give you a few weeks, see how that's doing. It can, just doing the 2/3 can help and alleviate your problems, but there has been some research done that shows that doing the full bisection of the hemispheres will be more effective. But if you want, we can try just the initial one and then go from there, or if you want to just go ahead and schedule both surgeries right away. I know it's a lot to think about.
Do most people have success from the surgery?
So most people will at least have a decrease in their seizures. With just the front 2/3 being cut, there is about a 30% relapse rate. So about 30% of the people who get it done do have recurring seizures after the surgery is done. With the full corpus callosotomy, completely severing the two hemispheres, there is about a 90% success rate, and only about 7% of people will relapse and begin having seizures after that. So there are pretty good chances. I don't want to tell you that it's 100% gonna cure it, because I can't say that. Nobody knows for sure until it's done, but I think that we do have a pretty good chance.
I think we should do it, Mom. What do you? I think we should go for it.